Horizon gents and welcome to CG Reaction, and like always we are reacting to Salmonella Academy video. South Sudan, the world's newest country. I already reacted to quite a few Sam videos already and I've created a playlist for it, so if you haven't seen them, check out the cards for the playlist, check out the end cards. There's a link in the description with all of my videos. If you haven't seen it, check them out. And if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe, and that way I know which type of videos to react to more, and you'll be supporting this channel, I guess. So yeah, South Sudan. I didn't know there was two Sudans. I know there's a Sudan bordering Egypt. I know that because long ago I had a fascination with pyramids. So I learned that even though great pyramids and historical pyramids, like iconic pyramids are in Egypt, most pyramids are in Sudan, like I don't know, 200 or 300 or so. So I know Sudan is bordering Egypt. I think it's mostly Islamic country. I guess most population are Muslims. But that's it. I didn't know there was two Sudans. But alright. And since Sam is covering this, I'm pretty sure there's going to be really weird facts about it, and it's just going to be awesome. So let's watch it.
Hey kids, today I'm going to talk about South Sudan. It's the newest country in the world, becoming fully independent just in 2011. So I'm going to explain why the state came into being and what it's like there today. So to understand why South Sudan exists, you kind of have to know a bit about Sudan as a whole. So before 1956, Sudan was under the joint control of Egypt and Britain. At the end of 1955, they gave a declaration of independence and became their own thing. The independence movement, however, was led by this guy, Ismail al-Azhari. And he was like, hey everybody, we are an Arab-oriented Muslim nation. But then like 8 million Sudanese black people were like, whoa now, hold your camels, Ishmael. Us Africans, we ain't all about your Allah. He was like, yeah, well who cares? Oh, I see. So they got into a civil war between the primarily Arab Muslim North and the traditionally oriented African South. That went on for 6
I mean, it is in the Africa, but this is like always the case, isn't it? Religion wars again. The people are like, we don't want anything to do with your religion. They're like, this religion defines this country, and just civil war starts.
16 years, until finally the North's like, alright fine, you can do your thing. Like, you're still part of Sudan, but you can govern yourself for the most part. We'll take our falafels elsewhere. And that peace treaty lasted 11 years, from 1972 to 1983. Eventually, the South was like, well things aren't that bad now, but the Arabs still technically control us, so it could get worse. And I'm not in the mood for any Sharia law anytime soon, so we should probably go back to fighting. So then there was another civil war, which was basically a continuation of the first one.
Okay, there must be a trigger for that, right? I mean, they can't just like one day, you know what, we want to fight again, screw the peace talks. I'm pretty sure there must be some kind of trigger, because if there wasn't, that's just one of the most, twitchiest things you can do. Like, oh no, this sounds like peace, but they're gonna attack us again, so let's attack them first, or something like that.
And that ran on from 1983 all the way to 2005, when finally the two sides made a comprehensive peace agreement, which led to South Sudan becoming totally self-governing in 2006. Then after 5 more years of fiddling around with paperwork, South Sudan became a fully fledged independent nation in 2011. So notice how there were 2 civil wars before the South gained independence. I guess you could say 2 coups make a Sudan. So now that they finally got what they want, it must be great.
That was a hidden message for Americans, I guess. You need 2 civil wars for the South to, get your own country, I guess. Or maybe that's how I saw it. Man, I didn't know there was 2 Sudans. Apparently there is. It's, led by, religious differences, I guess. Well, one type of people we are just Africans, we are not Islamic, and, others like, we are Islamic. So I guess, divide was even, inevitable. So let's watch this one.
To live in South Sudan now, right? No, not really. It's actually just about the worst place you could ever choose to live in. Seriously, if somebody gave me the choice of moving to South Sudan or living the rest of my life with my dick inside an anthill, I'd be slathering on the honey before they even finish their sentence. Let me talk about a few reasons South Sudan sucks so bad. First, let me talk about ethnic groups. Europe, as we all know, contains a lot of ethnic groups. Scots, Serbs, Slovaks, Slovenes, Spaniards, Swedes. And those are just the big ones that start with S. There's like 100 others. The same is true with Africa.
I mean, yeah, talking about dense people, not dense, dense-packed people. Europe is really densely packed, isn't it? All type of, all type of ethnic groups, tons of countries. And, knowing how big continents are like Africa, Europe is not that big compared to that. And having that much, different type of people is just ridiculous, but at the same time, it's also awesome. I mean, I haven't been to Europe. I've seen lots of places in, photos and things like that. But while playing Euro Truck Simulator, as I was crossing countries, obviously it's not accurate, but sometimes some features that game does capture it just right. So when you come to Switzerland, you can feel things are changing. You go to Italy, things are completely different. You go to Germany, it's different. It's just awesome, man. Traveling Europe, with a car, I mean, obviously they are all part of European Union, so you can just travel there without worrying much. So it's just awesome. It would be an awesome road trip. I mean, Top Gear basically did that years ago. Lots of road trips around Europe, and that's an episode, I guess.
There are thousands of localized ethnic groups sprinkled all over the continent, whether or not you could tell from first glance. As such, South Sudan is home to a bunch of different peoples, each with their own languages and customs. And these groups have a long history of disagreeing with each other, like they don't get along much. So that's one thing. Second, remember how South Sudan was at war with the North for basically all of the past half a century? Well, as a result, the whole place is pretty geared for war and not much else. Their infrastructure is abysmal, and they've got all these guns just lying around waiting to be shot at something. Third, South Sudan has a bunch of oil reserves in different locations around the nation, and we all know how much people like oil. Everybody wants control of whatever wells they can get. So between these three things, the whole place is basically one big whirlpool of chaos. At any given time, the South Sudan government is at war with at least 7 different armed groups from around the country, each of which is also at war with the other groups. And if that's not enough of a shitstorm, the government ended up basically splitting in two in 2013. This is what happened. So you've got the president, his name is Salva Kiir, and yes, he does actually wear a hat like this. It was a gift from George Bush, true story. And then the vice president, his name is Riek Machar. I'm probably saying those wrong, but it's fine. They don't have internet in South Sudan, so nobody can call me out here. So anyway, Salva Kiir, he's very aware of the fact that the country's in a very precarious spot at the moment. So he starts taking greater control of the government and the military, dismissing old people and installing those that he sees fit. And so Riek Machar, he's like, well, gee whiz, Salva Kiir, for someone who calls himself a president, that's pretty dictatory of you. Well, for someone who calls himself the vice president, that's pretty annoying assholey of you. Sir, all I'm saying is, I'm getting pretty sick of you and that gay hat of yours. I'm not wearing a hat. As president of South Sudan, I order you to put on a hat. Yeah, see? That hat's gay. You're wearing the exact same hat. Alright, fuck you, you're out of a job. Wait, what? Yep, you and your whole cabinet, get out. Okay, I made up the part about the hat, but the rest of that is true. Also,
Wait a minute, president can't fire vice president? What the hell, man? I'm pretty sure you can't. Once you elect it, you can't just fire vice president. What the hell is this?
I should mention that Kiir and Machar come from two different ethnic groups. See, Kiir is a Dinka, whereas Machar is a Nuer, which only heightened the tensions between the two. So after Machar got the boot, he ended up taking a chunk of the military with him, most of which were Nuers like him. And they
See, that's the thing. I mean, you want to be a separate nation. You got that. But you should have had the long-term plan, like once we have the country, what are we going to do? What's the economical plans going forward? If you don't have that, it's going to be chaos, obviously. And that's what basically happened here. Damn, I didn't know it was that bad there. It would be so effed up living there, man.
Started a rebellion against Kiir's government. This is known as the South Sudan Civil War, and it's still going on to this day. So yeah, to sum it up, if you looked up clusterfuck in the dictionary, well, you wouldn't find anything because clusterfuck isn't a real word. But if it was, there would probably be a picture of South Sudan next to it. Seriously, this place makes Hotel Rwanda look like Hotel California. And throughout it all, there's still a bunch of hardworking individuals just trying to make a living, farming or herding or whatever. But the constant warfare makes it so the average person has to live in virtually Stone Age conditions. Which sucks, but, what can you do? So that's the story of the world's newest nation, kids. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you for watching.
That's just effed up, everyday regular regular people getting screwed over, and I can't even believe what kind of hell they would be going through, man. All those different type of factions basically, fighting each other. Even government is unstable, they don't know what to do for their economy, because all they did was, rebel and try to become their own nation. That's just effed up, man, when you really think about it. I didn't know South Sudan existed, especially that it was this effed up there. It's, sometimes I think, some countries, countries even in Asia and Africa, where, so, some countries have potential, but there is no real guideline there, like what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. I think that, there should be some kind of global effort to help certain countries to go up, not just to, for a charity purpose, just to, bring up entire world's economy, because the more countries out there are more productive, the more entire world benefits. So I think there are some countries who has potential, but there is no real vision, or somebody's exploiting them. Nobody can do anything about it. There should be global effort to, boost economies wherever, in whichever countries people can, I guess. So yeah, that was South Sudan by Sam video. Still awesome video. Sam didn't disappointed me yet. This is what 37th or something of the videos I'm reacting to. So that was great. Alright people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my other reaction. There's a link in the description with all of my videos. And yeah, like I said, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.